Good evening, y'all. Welcome to another edition of the S.O.B Sports Report Talking S. As always, I'm Nick.
I'm Manny.
That's producer Christian. How you doing today, Manny?
I'm actually doing pretty well. I'm excited for some news we got today going on.
Me too. How you feeling today, producer Christian?
I'm excited.
Let's get it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let's get into today's episode. Well, we had a pretty interesting NFL wildcard weekend, to say the least. First time ever in the NFL playoffs, so they had 14 teams as compared to 12. They implemented the 17 bracket system for each the AFC and the NFC. So looking into it, Manny, what's the divisional game that you're most looking forward to?
Well, I'm going to pick a pretty popular one. I'm going to go with the Ravens versus the Bills.
I love that game. Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, who are you taking as a quarterback?
I'm taking Josh Allen because he's able to pass, run, do everything you need, and his development has been significant. Lamar Jackson, even though he's the current MVP, has not developed the passing game to the level that we would expect him to. And it's strength versus strength, in my opinion. It's going to be the Bills' ability to stop the run versus the DBs against the receivers of the Bills. Who's going to win, we don't know.
And I love those matchups there. You have Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey on one side, and then, of course, you have John Brown, Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs. Pick whichever your poison is for that receiver room. For me, I'm definitely looking forward to the Saints versus the Buccaneers. Fun fact, average depth of yards of pass. You have Tom Brady, who leads the league with 9.1 yards per average pass, and then you have Drew Brees, who's 34th in the league with only 6 yards per average pass. Pretty interesting stat, to say the least. But another interesting stat is also Tom Brady, 8 touchdowns to 11 interceptions in head-to-head games versus Drew Brees. Drew Brees, 18 touchdowns, only 1 interceptions in head-to-head games versus Tom Brady. You have a quarterback rating for Tom Brady of 80.1 as compared to Drew Brees' of 118. So in that term, you know who's playing better ball against each other. Of course, at the Buccaneers, they went 0-2 versus the Saints this year. And then you have the Saints that are coming up against the playoffs. I'm very keen to see if they pull the Browns on them and actually win the game. Some key points to look into this game. The Saints penalties. Saints are second in the NFL in penalty yards, so watch out for that. Tristan Wirfs on the other side for the Buccaneers at right tackle. He's a rookie right tackle and he only let up 1 sack this whole year. Very curious to see how he plays against Trey Hendrickson and Cam Jordan. Speaking about the Saints and Buccaneers, let's talk about Pro Bowl snubs this year. Trey Hendrickson led the league in sacks this year, 13.5 sacks. How did he not make the Pro Bowl? Makes no fucking sense to me. Then we're going to the Forrest Buckner, another premium pass rusher with 9.5 sacks, top 5 in the NFL with quarterback hits, and he's a premium run stuffer. The fact he didn't make the Super Bowl on one of the top tier defenses in the NFL also blows my mind.
Once again, he's on the top-rated defense. How did he not make the Pro Bowl?
I don't know. It makes no sense to me. But granted, it's just like the receiver problem, I feel like. If you have a great receiver on a team and they didn't make the Pro Bowl, it's because there's so many great receivers in the NFL. So many great pass rushers and people that get overlooked. That's why they need to break it down into 4-3 defensive end, 3-4 defensive end, things of that nature as compared to just outside linebacker, defensive end, things of that nature. You feel me?
I feel you.
Definitely. And then my third and final Pro Bowl snub, Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, 33 passing touchdowns, only 7 interceptions, 260 rushing yards, and 7 rushing touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill was absolutely a juggernaut this year, and he was second in the NFL here in yards per average in terms of throw, but he was first in the NFL in yards per air attempt. So in terms of how far the ball actually traveled, no one threw the ball further than Ryan Tannehill. Shout out to Ryan Tannehill. Manny, Pro Bowl snubs.
Mine's going to be Justin Herbert, who's going to be the Rookie of the Year. He's going to be Rookie of the Year. I promise you that one. 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns with a completion rate of 66.
It should be Justin Jefferson for Rookie of the Year, but that's just for me.
Right? And then my next one is for our Bears fan, Allen Robinson. I mean, he was balling out the entire season. 102 receptions, 1,200 yards, and 6 TDs, right? On an underperforming offense of the Bears, right?
Look out for 12. That receiver class for free agency this year is loaded.
He going to get paid.
Yes, sir.
Unless the Bears tag him.
Oh, we'll see how that is.
We'll see
Look into our free agent signings for next week.
Right, and then we're going to go with Jonathan Taylor. He was like, you know, the honorable mention, but I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor. He picked it up at the end of the season for the Colts. He had over 1,100 yards, 11 TDs, and was the heart and soul of that engine on that offense on the Indianapolis Colts for the season.
If people go back to episode 2 of Talking S, you will clearly remember us bringing up Jonathan Taylor as a fantasy sleeper. I remember. Alrighty, y'all. So let's talk about a little bit of baseball. The rookie GM for the New York Mets, Jared Porter, he's having a killer offseason. Not only has he signed James McCain and Marcus Stroman, two top 20 free agents in the MLB, He's also traded for the switch hitter Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco for 4 non-premium players.
How the hell did he get all 4 of those players?
I don't know, but for those of you that don't know, Francisco Lindor, 4-time All-Star, 2-time Golden Glove winner, 2-time Silver Slugger, absolute killer. The Houston Astros, they picked up Victor Baez today. Absolutely awesome pickup for them. They needed the veteran over there. And then looking on to as well for the rookie, the San Diego Padres rookie, Ha-Seong Kim. That man is from the Korean Baseball Organization, an absolute killer. 30 home runs in the last 3 years. Well, he's not averaging 30 home runs in the last 3 years. 2-time Golden Glove winner over there. He proclaims that he's going to be the Rookie of the Year this year. I'm not saying he's crazy, but I'm not saying he's too far off either. I'm pretty excited for it. All right, y'all, so we have the scoop on the hoops, so let's get into the NBA right away. Manny, what is the word on the street?
Well, James Harden is officially a Brooklyn Net.
Okay.
He's teamed up with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. In my opinion, the most mentally soft superstar I've ever seen in my life.
A dumpster fire of a team is
it's going to be a great soap opera. But, so, I'm just going to move on to better and better news, right? So, I'm going to go with my MVP lookers right now. So, for example, Joel Embiid, right? He's finally living up to his potential teaming up with Doc Rivers. He's only missed 2 games out of 10. Why is that a big deal? Because he was known to miss every other game.
And you predicted that in a past episode, too, as well, so good on you.
Right? So he's averaging 26 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, right? So he's actually putting in the work and averaging 32 minutes, which is unheard of for him. He's usually in the lower tier of the 30 minutes. But my sleeper pick for the MVP is going to be Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets.
He's looking great this year.
Oh, dude, he's a stud bucket. If you watch him, he's like playing. He looks like a giraffe running, so it's very awkward. But at the same time, he's averaging a triple-double, which is unheard of at the center position. There's only been 2 NBA players to average a triple-double for a season. It would be Russell Westbrook and Oscar Robinson.
Maybe he can do it if he does from the center position. This weekend, you have a huge main event coming up. First UFC event that's coming back in the first 5 weeks. Calvin Kattar, the number 6 featherweight in the world, fighting Max Holloway. A lot of people thought Max Holloway beat Max Volkanovski in his last fight. I disagree there. But coming to it, this is going to be an awesome stand-up fight. You have Calvin Kattar, who's known as one of the best boxers in the division, versus Max Holloway, who's a very well-rounded fighter. I'm very curious to see how this fight goes. As the fight goes along for rounds 3, 4, and 5, of course, Max Holloway, that's when he picks up his speed and his edge. I wouldn't be remiss to say that Calvin Kattar may be the first man to actually knock Max Holloway down. Not saying he knocks him out, not saying he stops him, but Max Holloway is yet to be knocked down in any of his fights in the UFC, and he absorbs more significant strikes per minute than any single fighter on the roster. So with that being said, my final prediction, this is why I'm at pause here, because I'm a fanboy of both fighters. Shit, man.
This is hard for you, isn't it?
It's so hard for me. I'm going to go Max Holloway. I'm going to go Max Holloway by decision as much as I love Calvin Kattar. But if Calvin Kattar does win, don't be surprised. Alrighty, y'all. So thanks to your guys' awesome feedback, we have come to the conclusion that your guys' favorite segment is Talking Speed. So get your tourniquets ready, because we're doing it. Producer Christian, what do you have for us?
All right, let's go to the wild card game of the NFL. Washington versus the Bucks. Quarterback Tyler Heineke. Do you think he deserves a spot on the roster next year for his performance? Nick, go.
Absolutely does he deserve a spot. Now, at what level does he deserve that spot? 3rd string, 2nd string? Definitely not a starting quarterback in the NFL. But people forget that he also started some games for the Carolina Panthers as well. Did he start some games for the Carolina Panthers?
I think he was on the roster.
He was just on the roster, because I know he was also on the Patriots practice squad. Anyways, with that being said, he no doubt deserves a starting spot. I don't know too much about him, clearly. If I'm not mistaken, he played at Old Dominion. But with that being said, yeah, he deserves a spot. Did he even play at Old Dominion? I don't know.
No.
Manny, what do you think?
Well, he certainly deserves a look with that gutsy performance. I mean, he hurt his shoulder, but he didn't tap out. He came back in, played like a soldier, and then he was pretty accurate with the deep ball. It's just the Washington receivers failed him with constant drops and misplacements. I mean, they had stone hands for days, and then, like I said, and he was a gamer for that game. Even just a total gamer, not just a game manager, but yes, he deserves at least a look at the 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string.
Guys, sticking with football. Your second question is, Nick Saban has been with Alabama since 2008, or 2007, I believe. When do you think he retires?
I don't think he's going to retire. He's going to be like Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, well in their 60s, even though he's in the 60s. He's going to keep on going until he can. He's going to try to outdo the legend of Paul Bearer, right? That's what I'm getting, because he already got 6 national championships. He got nothing else to prove in the college ranks, but he failed in the NFL. So I don't know if he's going to go for the NFL. So I think he's going to keep on going until he feels well and ready, which is going to probably be like Joe Paterno a year before he died.
All right.
Did he go over his 30 seconds? I feel like he went over his 30 seconds.
Did.
Dog, you got to call that.
Yeah, you got to say a ding, dude.
All right, Nick.
How am I supposed to know anything?
It's all good. I'll make it quick. It's hard to predict when someone's going to retire. Nick Saban seems like he has a lot of life in him. I predict that he coaches for at least another 10 years. He's never going to leave Alabama. And it's not Paul Bear, it's Bear Bryant.
Why was I thinking the wrestler?
Hey guys, thank you guys so much for joining us of our Andrew Luck episode of Talking S. As always, that's Manny's beautiful self. I'm Nick's ugly ass. Have a great day. There are times where the producer will talk to him and like people shit. That's why we like kind of shit on you a little bit. It's because that's the thing you do. You shit on your producer a little bit. Like fuck this guy. We need him, but fuck him. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like in Stephen A. Stephen A.
Like we 100% need this guy. Yeah, that is no question.
They always say on the earpiece, our producer's telling me to hurry up. Like every other week, they say like our producer's telling me to hurry up.
Yeah, it's like he's the boss. Like if you think about it, most final decisions run through you. It's like so, but that's why you have to use your wiener. Hey, ho, you're at 25 seconds. 30 seconds, shut up. And then he just has to stop his answer.